Joining me now on our all-star panel, on the left, we have liberal radio talk show host Mark Levine. On the right, radio host David Webb and attorney Arthur Ayala. I'm going to start with you, Levine. Come on, man, bring it, bring it. Are you pro-nuclear?
Am I pro-nuclear? I'm not pro-nuclear on earthquake zones. Look, we have 104 plants in the United States. 2 of them are near an earthquake zone. They're in California.
Listen, do me a favor. I don't need a geography lesson, a geology
Let's talk about
lesson.
Diablo Canyon, all right? It's less than a mile from a fault line. That's dangerous.
Fine, fine. Pro-nuclear going forward. You're all right with it?
I'm okay if it's very safe and very careful.
Why is it then you have 2 senators and a very prominent congressman on the left saying, stop now. Don't proceed at all.
We need to learn. We need to learn from what happened in Japan. Look, some of these models, like the idea of having those spent rods on the roof, doesn't make any sense. So they need to be some redesign questions. You need to have questions about not just earthquakes, but tornadoes and hurricanes. If it can be done safely and they're not in earthquake fault zones, I'm not against all nuclear power, but we have to be careful.
Yeah, we always have to be careful. No one says not to be careful. Go ahead, David. Jump in.
Let's start with some basic facts. Most of the deaths came from the earthquake and the tsunami, not from, we don't have the nuclear fallout on that. So their fear-mongering makes it seem perceptually like, this nuclear thing's killing thousands of people. It's not. That's one of the things media has a responsibility to do. As far as the nuclear storage, the nuclear pools, whether it's Indian Point or any of the others, we have to advance our technology, and we have. These plants were built by GE back in the 70s. We have done a lot. It's not like Chernobyl where there was no containment. We have containment around the plants, and more people die from producing other forms of energy than nuclear, which produces 20% of ours.
Why is the media out there showing us how to put duct tape around our windows?
That's an easy question to answer. Come on. Eric, we're in the business. It's ratings. It's morning television. It's what people are going to take a look at. Is it irresponsible? Maybe. But it's ratings. It's going to capture people's attention. What I'm more focused on is there like a talking points memo that goes out on one side or the other? Like, all the Democrats, all the liberals, we have to be against the nukes. No matter what, we just have to be against them. The congressmen have to come out, the senators. Why?
But
in other words, why can't we examine it and be intelligent people who analyze data? Yes, are there risks? There's risks with oil. There's risks with everything. There's a risk and then there's a reward. And is the risk worth the reward? And that's the analysis.
But here's the thing about nuclear power. It's a small risk, but a risk of massive catastrophe.
Correct.
Potential, right? It's not. The amount of catastrophes.
In Chernobyl, the people that got it, they died within a month.
Different model.
4,000 people.
But Mark, what you have to understand, Chernobyl had no containment.
I understand.
You had a situation.
There's no containment in Japan now because they blew off the roof.
Let me finish.
Right.
No,
that
actually,
is absolutely incorrect.
No, the spent rods. And the spent rods,
you're absolutely wrong. You're absolutely
wrong. That's why they're dropping water on it. They're open to the elements.
What blew out?
Can we stay on topic here?
Yeah.
What is the media doing? Are they fear-mongering us
the media's...
Where are they driving us? I can't figure out where they want us to go.
The media is playing on the ratings, and this is what they do. If it bleeds, it leads. I've been around it long enough. But I want to go to a very important point Arthur brought up. In Iowa, where there's a plant on the line, legislators have already started backing off, saying we need more review instead of working towards getting a solution. We have security in nuclear power plants. We have safety. We've advanced the technology. It's time to put it to use. 20% of our energy comes from nukes. We need to up that.
And if we don't, Mark, if we do what you say and put the brakes on it or leave or whatever, we stop or we rethink our program, what's that going to do to oil price? You don't like oil. You don't want
I don't like oil. No, I like wind. I like geothermal. I like solar. I like all those things.
Solar, wind, and geothermal.
That's right.
Combs is over there laughing.
Hydroelectric.
I want to know how Combs is going to make his car, his Prius, ride on a freaking wind turbine.
Well, that'd be cool. Wouldn't it be like a little sail car? That would go. No, look, Eric. I'm not saying get rid of all nuclear power. I'm not saying that Japanese radiation will hit the West Coast. I think that's a ridiculous thing. I think the media is crazy on that. But the idea that if you have it on an earthquake zone, that plant in Diablo Canyon went all the way up to the United States Supreme Court.
But Eric, we don't have to build them on a fault line. Don't build them on a fault line.
So can we agree to shut down those 2 plants in California?
We live on a moving rock, okay, that goes at 25,000 miles an hour through space. We're all moving. At some point or another, there can be some natural disaster. You don't account for those. You build to prevent the best you can. That's technology.
The best you can.
That's technology with anything, whether it's a skyscraper or otherwise.
Eric, getting back to your original point, the media is doing what, unfortunately, now they have to do, make money. So whether it's Charlie Sheen we follow for 2 weeks as the lead story, whether the most New York Post, you know what the story was on the most consistent days on the cover of the New York Post? He beat 9/11 by, I think, a day or two, Tiger Woods. The cover of the New York Post, because it sells. As human beings, we love this trauma. We love this anxiety. So this morning on ABC, when they're competing against Fox and Friends, which still beats them, even though it's cable versus network television, they put on something that, let me put duct tape and go out and buy plastic.
But it is a very serious threat in Japan. That
of course,
we shouldn't.
We're horrible in Japan.
We're going to leave it there.